They also make sure that your families are a good match, and even after the marriage, will provide marriage consultation services. I don't know about you, but welcome to Big in Japan on Geinokai.jp. I'm your host, Sejan, and today we're taking a deep dive into Japanese culture with a focus on modern Omiai. Traditional matchmaking in Japan dates back centuries. However, it hasn't faded away with the new modern Omiai. Omiai refers to traditional matchmaking in Japan, with Omiai meaning meeting. Omiai focuses on having a Nakodo, the matchmaker, who will carefully select your applicants before pairing you with someone to meet. Now, your Nakodo is like a best friend. This person is not only going to check the financial background of your potential partners, but also their social status, financial income, and whether or not you would be a good match with them. And the services don't stop there. They also make sure that your families are a good match, and even after the marriage, will provide marriage consultation services. I don't know about you, but that right there is enough to make me go sign up. Now, there are some key elements that made Omiai so important to Japanese society. The first one being that Japanese society is family-oriented. Second, the consideration of social status, because marriage back then was not just about love. And lastly, family unions. Again, political marriages are not uncommon around the world, and even in today's modern times. So now let's look at how Omiai has become modernized to fit today's needs. Modern Omiai can be found on dating apps in Japan, such as Pairs and one famously named Omiai. The name explains itself, right? These apps use AI features to provide some of the same services of our Nakodo in the past. These services include facial recognition to make sure your partner is who they say they are, as well as background checks if you pay for memberships. And then the AI also will help you match someone based upon your description and preferences. Similar to how the Nakodo would get a resume and family background sheet on potential matches that they would get to read before actually meeting up. I'm still leaning to go into the traditional Omiai. This just sounds like it's doing all the investigative work for us that we should do before we leap into the bounds of marriage, right? On the topic of traditional Omiai, they are still active, with 5 to 6% of marriages in Japan coming from them. One company, Zui, offers a sign-up registration or initial fee starting around 30,000 yen going up to 100,000 yen. Sunmari also is a traditional Omiai service that is modernized in how you can sign up online. And again, the fees are going to be starting around 30,000 going upwards to 100,000 yen. And those are just the initial fees. Generally for traditional Omiai services, you're looking at 100,000 yen up to 300,000 yen for this service. It's steep, but finding a perfect match in today's economy and society, this might be one of the best investments out there. It's steep, but finding a match in today's society and economy makes this a pretty good investment in my opinion. In summary, modern Omiai still exists with companies like Zui and Sunmari. So if you're looking to do a more traditional, slightly modernized touch, I recommend those companies. And if you prefer a do-it-yourself version, Pairs or Omiai, if your Japanese language is high enough, will give you good results. And from my own personal experience, I recommend Pairs. I did meet my ex on there and he was wonderful. But, you know, c'est la vie. That's it for this segment on Big in Japan on Geinokai.jp. I'm your host, Sejan, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoy our Big in Japan content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell for notifications. And if this video interests you, please give us a like, as it gives us a lot of support.